Nate is holding, he's calling in from Boston, and he's having trouble being honest with his family. What is it, Nate, that you're lying to your family about?
Well, last year I began law school, and
oh, my condolences.
Yes, exactly. And I was conflicted going into it, but I tried.
Why did you sign up for law school?
You know, I think, to be honest with you, that I did it to try to appease my parents more than anything else.
You know, JB, why did you sign up for? It's a terrible reason. How old are you, Nate?
24.
Okay, that's about the same age I was when I got out of law school. JB, why did you go to law school?
It's a question I still ask myself. I think I did it because the expectations from everybody else.
Really?
I was good with history. I liked to debate. So what else was there to do? Actually, I really wanted to be a teacher.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I went to law school, Nate. I went to BC Law School because my boyfriend was going off to get a PhD in economics at MIT, and I felt like I was getting left behind. And I literally had a conversation with my dad, who's a doc, and I was like, well, I didn't do the pre-med thing, and I was a history film major, and I don't really want to get a master's in that. What am I going to do? And he looked at me and he said, why don't you get a law degree? You can use it for something else. You're smart. You know, you're a very smart woman. We need more women lawyers. And I was like, okay. But I hated it. Ugh, I hated it. So what happens? So you arrive at law school, and what happens?
I actually got through my first year unscathed and made it through. But over the summer, I really just started reflecting more and more on what I wanted to actually do with my life.
What do you want to do with your life, Nate?
What's that?
What do you want to do with your life?
Well, I decided, upon reflection, I decided that it's not really what I wanted to do is become a lawyer or, just get a law degree just to get it. So I dropped out of the school and I enrolled.
Oh, hold there. I think it's getting juicy. So what I want to hear is, yes, when Nate spent the summer contemplating, probably while he was sitting in a law firm stamping papers for litigation, thinking, this ain't what I want with my life. And he decided to do something else. We're going to find out what that is and what his parents think he's doing right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Right now we've got Nate on the line, and Nate is in quite a bind. Your personal power comes from your credibility and the power of your word and tapping it to get what you want in your life. Nate went to law school. There's two lawyers here on this show. We both know how much that law school stinks. You spent your first year summer after completing a year contemplating what you really wanted and realized it wasn't law school. So what did you do when you returned back for your second semester?
Well, what I decided to do is to drop out of school, and I enrolled in divinity school in place of law school, which I felt was really where my passion lied, as opposed to doing something that I was just going through the motions for.
Now, when you dropped out of law school, did you tell your parents?
I didn't.
Why?
That's the trick, because I didn't want to disappoint them, and I realized eventually. I'm going to have to tell them, but
are they like, for example, how does this play out in your mind? So law school's 3 years. How long is divinity school?
It's going to be 6 semesters, so the same.
6 semesters. So right about the same time, they're going to show up thinking that maybe they're going to see you graduate as a lawyer, and instead it's going to be like the second coming of Christ. All of a sudden you appear. Guess what, Mom and Dad? I'm not getting a JD. I'm getting a master's in divinity. I mean, how are you planning on coming clean?
I'm trying to figure that out myself. I'm
going to figure it out for you. I'm going to figure it out for you. Are they paying for this?
No.
Okay, great. What does it feel like to lie to them?
I mean, it doesn't feel particularly good at all.
I mean, what? Come on. It doesn't feel good? That's a lame description.
I mean, they think he's still in law school?
They think he's still in law school, and he's dropped out, and now he's in divinity school.
Wait a minute, you're at a totally different campus, you're at a totally different institution, and they still think you're at law school?
Same school. Same school, same...
he's probably going to BC. How is somebody getting a divinity degree rationalizing lying?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
No, it's a question I'm asking you. How do you rationalize it? How do you do it?
I just don't want to hurt them. I don't want to disappoint them.
Fear.
I get it. Well, here's the problem with lying is that it just keeps building. And the only person truly that at this point, they're not going to be disappointed that you dropped out of law school, because one thing that I can tell you as a parent is that as a parent, there's only one thing that you care about with your kids, and that's that they find their passion and they pursue it.
1 minute.
So I want you to consider something, Nate, which is if you were to share openly with them about what the process was like for you finding your passion and the courage that it took for you to quit law school and then go pursue getting this degree and how happy and fulfilled you are by life and that you're paying for it, that would make your parents happier than anything that you could tell them because their kid is now successfully pursuing their passion. But check it out. You know, you've chosen a profession that's all about having personal integrity. So I want to get the parents on the phone. We're going to talk to you on the break, and maybe we can tell them right on the air when we come back. Nate's in a jam. He went to law school for a year, decided this ain't for me, so he went back to school in the fall, but he instead of going back for his second year of law school, he went to divinity school on the same campus. His parents have no idea. And so I used a little tactic where I said to you before the break, that's it, I'm going to get your parents on the phone and you're going to tell them on air. So what went through your mind when I said that?
I wasn't too thrilled about that prospect.
I'm sure. And the good news, here's the good news. I'm not Jerry Springer. And while I will do that on this show from time to time, and I do it particularly when it comes to relationship issues between couples, doing it with parents could really screw things up. So what I want you to do, though, is now that you have taken a deep breath and you know I don't have your parents waiting in the wings for you to confess to them what's going on, because the other thing that's probably eating at you, like a sin that you need to confess, is the fact that you're lying to them and that you're going to divinity school, of all things. And so this is something you must come clean on, is I'm giving you till tonight. And then you're calling back into the show tomorrow and you're telling us how the conversation went. And you're basically going to go in and you're going to first off apologize and say, there's something I've been hiding from you because I did not want to disappoint you guys. That's the bad news. And for that, I am ashamed and I feel sorry. The good news is that I found my passion. And then you have to apologize for something. You have to apologize for the fact that you underestimated your parents. That you thought that they would be mad that you blew off law school instead of realizing that they love you so much that they'd be thrilled that you found something that you care about as much as you care about divinity school. And that by underestimating them, you've really wronged them and you're sorry and you won't do that again. You got it?
Okay.
All right, so you're going to call in tomorrow?
Absolutely.
All right, terrific.